Hi friends, welcome. Come to sit in a comfortable seat for you. If you'd like, have your blanket, your blocks, perhaps a shawl nearby. Find Gyan or Jnana Mudra, index finger to thumbs for wisdom. Let your palms face down, rooting and grounding your energy. Find your slow, steady breath. Have a soft gaze over the tip of your nose, or close your eyes and tune in rather than tune out. Bring your palms to meet in front of your heart center as you continue to breathe. Spread the fingers wide. Let the elbows move away from each other. Shoulder blades move toward each other. Slow, steady breathing. Ujjayi breath. The sound of the serpent. Notice any tilting, any leaning without judgment. Invite your body to come to center space. Releasing what happened before. Releasing what may come after. Finding your posture, representing being right here, right now. Open your palms to lotus flower mudra, open to receiving all of the health, all of the nutrition, all of the rest you need. Reach in front of you if your shoulders prefer, or reach all the way up above the head and open to receiving. Bring all of that goodness back down the midline as you balance your brain by pressing palms together. Let your thumbs press into your heart center. Open with the sound of 3 ohms. You're welcome to join in, to listen, or to mentally recite AUM or OM after the inhale. Bringing one hand to your heart center, bring the other hand to your lower abdominal area and feel your inhale fill you. And feel your exhale empty you. Continue slow, steady breathing. Bring your low hand to your rib cage, make space for the inhale. Release the exhale. Make more space than you think you can. Release a bit more than you think is possible. Bring your side hand to your heart center. Bring your heart center hand to the side. Continue filling, emptying, filling, emptying. Side hand makes its way to low belly, and now all of those places you've touched, receive the inhale, release the exhale. receive the gift of that inhale. Release anything in the way of the exhale. Undo your legs and give them a gentle shake. And remember, we can wash away that which no longer serves us. So go ahead and with the palms of your hands, brush off, wash off, push anything that doesn't feel just right for you away from your body. All the way up to the shoulders. Remember your upper back, your head, your hair a bit. And now we'll tap in good, healthy wishes for you. Bend your knees if it helps you to move to the bottoms of your feet. Find the tops and the bottoms, the fronts and the backs, the insides and the outsides, even your seat, all parts of your back. When you move near your kidneys, go ahead and give yourself permission to tap in with your knuckles. You can make a funny sound if you like. And as you make your way up the back, remember to give one arm a gentle nudge to find the other side of the upper back, and then the other arm a gentle nudge to find the upper back. Both sides of your arms. Remember your underarms, your lymph nodes will like that information, and your heart center. And then find Dandasana. Press your palms down, press through your heels, slow, steady breathing. And typically in yoga, we take a soft gaze over the tip of nose, or whenever you feel balanced, if you want to close your eyes and continue tuning yourself in rather than tuning out, go right ahead. On your next inhale, reach the arms overhead. If the shoulders are feeling tender, typically arms in front of you may feel more comfortable. See what works for you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Again. Release your hands to your knees. Point through your toes and let your hands rub from your knees down to your ankles, your feet, your toes. If this feels uncomfortable, bend your knees a bit. You know you can even roll a blanket underneath your knees. If it's fine for your legs to be long, go for it. And move with your breathing. Find your inhale. Find your exhale. And next time you reach forward, stay. Perhaps claw your fingertips, cup your palms. Find your open heart. And we may each need something a little different here. So again, you can bend your knees. Check in with the backs of your knees. You may want to flex your feet. You may want to reach through your toes. Find a long, quiet spine rather than a rounded spine. Notice your heart center opening. Breathe. Some call this Paschimottanasana. Eventually, we'll move closer to the feet as it makes sense for you. You might even hold on to the feet. Not a requirement, but you know you might go there. How long is your inhale? How long is your exhale? If the low back is feeling a little tight, come up higher. Claw the fingers again. Count your breathing. Invite your exhale to become twice as long as your inhale. Remember, a very wonderful way to calm the human system is to forward fold, is to lengthen the exhale. Find your ratio. What makes sense for you in this moment? And on your next inhale, interlace fingers, press palms away from you, lift and lengthen. Release your Hands, bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet together, find butterflies, hold on to your toes or your ankles, the knees moving up and down, releasing, breathing. Again, remember, whenever you feel balanced, you're welcome to close your eyes and continue the tuning in process rather than the tuning out process. And gently bring your knees to meet. Give yourself a good old hug. Lengthen that beautiful spine of yours. And let's do a bit more to touch base with the breath. So before we go down to the mat, let's practice breath of fire. It's a short and soft breath where you're pulling in and up from the navel center. Now, if you are pregnant or you have high blood pressure, please stay with your slow, steady breath while we practice this. So inhale quite fully. Exhale more than you think you can. Inhale more than you think is possible. And begin. And release. So you'll get the hang of it. We'll practice. Bring your feet to the top of your mat. If you want to use some core strength, keep the knees bent. If you want to use more, let your legs lengthen. Be sure there's safe space behind you to lower. Lift your arms and lower in slow motion. And once you arrive, press everything into the mat. Your heels, your low back, even the back of your head, your shoulders. Flex the feet, press your palms down. And on your next inhale, gently lift your head and gaze to your toes. Notice your core, your upper body helping you to lift the head. So it's not only the neck doing so, and then release. Again, press everything into the mat, even your mid and low back. Now lift your hands, keep the palms facing the body. However, the arms are not touching the body or the floor. And on your inhale, lift your head and heart, lift your legs and gaze to your toes. Next inhale, then begin breath of fire. Slow, steady exhale, inhale. And release, rest a moment. If your back would prefer to press into the mat, do that even as you rest. Sometimes our backs need to do that. Release your shoulders. Now please bring your arms out to the side so your wrists and your shoulders are in line. And on an exhale, pull your knees to start one at a time into your upper body and give them a hug in. On an inhale, lengthen the arms and the legs. On an exhale, bring the knees in. Notice your feet are reaching forward and up, and your arms are coming close to the ground, but they're not touching all the way. And this is your cocoon and your moth, or perhaps it's your chrysalis and your butterfly. Notice your breathing, remembering it's important to rest. That's how we heal. And then we're ready to go back to our to-do list, or perhaps, at least for right now, you'll let it be a to-be list. And finally, give those knees a nice big hug in and rock around on your spine a bit, even your hips. Give yourself a massage. You can rock to one side to lift yourself up. You can rock forward and back to lift yourself up. See what works for you. Always moving with your breathing. Coming to stand, we'll cross our ankles, arms long, hands together. Give yourself a mighty push and come up to stand in Tadasana, your mountain pose. Feet may be hips width apart. You may want to challenge your balance and bring the inner edges of your feet together. If you're feeling a little off balance, you might go wider than your hips. Pick your toes up, spread them wide, press the four corners of your feet down. Oh, pull those knees in and up, roll those shoulders back. Bring your hands to your heart center and ground yourself for a moment. And remember those few bits of information for grounding yourself. They can make such a big difference, especially when we need them. On an inhale, arms reach out and up, fingers interlace, palms to the sky. On an exhale, heels lift. Keep breathing. Find your balance by gazing to something that doesn't move. On your next exhale, find half squat, Ardha Utkatasana, chair pose. Your arms again could reach in front of you, or maybe you'll bring the upper arms in line with your ears. Let it be an inhale that brings fingertips to toe tips. And now we're going to step our right foot back to lunge. And this may be where you like to have blocks. So if you need to bring your back knee down and grab your blocks and place them under your hands, do that. And let me turn so you can see what our plank pose will look like. So you'll come into your lunge and you could bring your back knee down, followed by your other foot and knee. And this would be a modified plank for those of us who may be working on the high plank. Or you can lift your knees up, push back through your heels, and we'll take the chaturanga from here to the mat, almost to the mat, and then you'll come up to your cobra. Now some are practicing Sphinx pose, so your forearms could press down and your tops of feet press down, your toenails press down. Slow, steady breathing. As you release your head and heart, press your hands down, take it up and back. Some like to take a moment in child's pose. If so, your knees come wide, your big toes touch. You can make a pillow for your forehead, releasing your low back, releasing your upper legs, your neck. Slow, steady breathing. Some may have moved right on to downward facing dog, and we'll meet you there. Your fingers spread wide, you lift up and back. And some of us find it beneficial to bend the knees and lift the heels and release all of those good leg muscles. Gently shaking yeses and no's out of head and neck. Releasing answers. Any need to have answers, at least for right now. And then go ahead, bend both knees, lift both heels, gaze to your thumbs, pull those elbows in, and take lots of steps forward to the top of your mat. And on an inhale, find a half forward fold. And for some of us, we'll press our hands into shins because that's where we lengthen our back the best. For some of us, we'll hold on to our blocks, and for others, we'll press fingertips into mat and find your full forward fold on the exhale. Slow, steady breathing. Your knees could bend a little or a lot. Let's come up in steps the first time around. Hands to shins, exhale, hands to hips, and inhale, come all the way up to stand. Surya Namaskar, sun salutation, moving with your breathing. This time try heels moving up with your arms. Fingers interlace, palms to sky, gazing to that point that doesn't move. Exhale, Ardha Utkatasana, half squat or chair pose. Inhale, fingertips to toe tips, and this time your left foot steps back to lunge. You can take a moment to pull it up through the inner edges of thighs and push back through your heel. Find your modified plank, your high plank. Push through your toes, bring your shoulders in line with your wrist chaturanga, dandasana to the mat, almost to the mat. Inhale, bhujangasana. Remember, you have that Sphinx pose option. You also have the baby cobra closer to the mat. Some of us may go back to child's pose. Some may go right up and back to down dog. Child's pose, this time let's try the knees together and the arms alongside. Slow, steady breathing. Brain and breath, best friends. On an inhale, move forward to table if you're in the child's pose, and on an exhale, take it up and back to your Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Slow, steady breathing. Find your inhale. Find your exhale. Now go ahead and press through both heels and press your hips toward the wall behind you. Feel your fingers spread wide. Feel the four corners of your feet active, even the knees pulling in and up, even the elbows pulling in and up a bit. Bend both knees, lift both heels, gaze to your thumbs, lots of steps forward, or this time right foot forward to the lunge, followed by stepping forward, half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana, followed by full Uttanasana. You may want to press your hands into the backs of your low legs. You may want to hold on to your ankles. Let gravity be a friend. Come up in steps as you did last time, or find reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands down the midline, balancing the brain. Let's do one more. Surya Namaskar, sun salutation. Inhale, heels up with the arms if you wish. Gazing to a point that doesn't move to find your balance. Inviting even here the second and third toe in line with the heel. Exhale, Ardha Utkatasana, or perhaps this time you'll find full squat. Remember, you could lift your heels and lower your arms to find balance. Eventually, you'll lower your heels and lift your arms. Inhale, fingertips to toe tips. This time, the right foot steps back again, or you could hop to your high plank. Chaturanga Dandasana, hover a moment, and then inhale. Bhujangasana. Unless you're practicing up dog, you can flip one set of toes under, lift the knee, other toes under, lift the knee, top of foot down, upward facing dog. Bending through the knees or rolling over the toes to find your down dog. Let's take the dog as wide as the mat. Feet step wide. Hands step wide. You can always grab onto the outer edges. Press your heels down toward the floor. Press your hips back toward the wall behind you. Keep breathing. Keep releasing. Keep filling with that beautiful prana, the life force energy. Walk your hands to shoulders width, step your feet to hips width, bend your knees, gaze to your thumbs, point that tail to the sky, pull the elbows in a bit, lots of steps, 2 steps, or a hop to the top of your mat, half forward fold, followed by full. Inhale, Tadasana. Exhale, Samastitihi. Moving back to our Kundalini exercises, we have a set this month, or a Kriya for your immune system. And we'll break it down and then we'll practice together. And you know, whenever we're doing this work, you may take a break, you may need a drink of water, you can join back in. So the first part is overhead clap. And we do that 8 times. And with that, we add the sound, if you like, hada. It sounds like H-U-D-A-H, hada, hada, hada. And when the tongue touches the roof of your mouth, you're activating healing, especially for the hypothalamus. And so the second part is strike the ground. So again, you're doing that 8 times, hada, 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 hada. And then we're coming up to arm flap, hada, 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 hada. And from there we do crisscross. So you're crossing your arms and you're crossing your legs, and eventually that will be a hop. Hada, 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 hada. And now we find archer pose. So to find your balance, you could have your hands on your hips. You are stepping back. It looks somewhat similar to a combination of Warrior 2 and Warrior 1. You're taking hold of your bow and arrow. Your back thumb presses into your fingers, but it's lifted up. And your front thumb is up. You're gazing over that thumb. Hada, 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 hada. And then we pivot on the feet. So you could hold your hips to find your balance, and eventually you might not. And again, you take hold of your bow and arrow. Check in with that back elbow. Sometimes it goes down or up or out or in. And gazing over your front thumb. Hada, 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 hada. And then come center, and we return to crisscross. Hada, 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 hada. Overhead, or sorry, backward stretch. Hada, 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 hada. Crisscross. Hada, 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 hada. Side stretch. Hada, 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 hada. 4 on each side. Hada, 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 hada. Crisscross. Hada, 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 hada. Back to the start. So we are welcome to do this 5 to 10 times, and of course more when you're ready. Let's try another. Overhead clap. Hada, 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 hada. Strike the ground. Hada, 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 hada. Make sure your entire palm is facing, pushing into the mat. Hada, 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 hada. Arm flap. Hada, 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 hada. Crisscross. Hada, 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 hada. Archer pose. Hada, 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 hada. Other side. Hada, 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 hada. Center crisscross. Hada, 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 hada. Backward stretch. Hada, 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 hada. Crisscross. Hada, 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 hada. Side stretch. Hada, 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 hada. Crisscross. Hada, 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 hada. One more. Overhead clap. Hada, 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 hada. Strike the ground. Hada, 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 arm flap, hada, 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 crisscross, hada, 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 archer pose, hada, 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 other side, hada, 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 center, crisscross, hada, 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 backward stretch, hada, 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 crisscross, hada, 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 side stretch, hada, 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 crisscross, hada, 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 release, keep going, or take rest in child's pose. If you do this every day, excuse me, too many hadas, you would do child's pose one day, and the next day you would take rest on your back and pull your knees in. So you choose which feels best for you right now. Ideally, we want to rest for a few minutes at least, maybe even 5. Find your slow, steady breathing again. Hada, by the way, translates to the infinite. Makes sense, right? We were practicing 8 times. The sideways number 8 is the symbol for infinity. And finally, we'll prepare for final rest. Let's give your back some time to release. Your feet settle down. Your arms come out to the side in line with your shoulders. Your gaze is going to be up to the ceiling or the sky. Both knees move to one side. If you'd like to give that top leg a little nudge, you can do so with the hand that's closest. If you'd like a little more of a release, you can gently turn your head away from the knee, your gaze away from the knees. Slow, steady breathing now. Feel all of that good energy moving through you. Bring your head center and we'll switch sides. Your knees lift and they move to the other side. Again, you can give that top leg a little nudge. You may need to settle through your shoulders a bit. You're gazing up to the ceiling or away from your knees. Giving your back permission to release before you take rest. Slow, steady breathing continues. On an inhale, bring your head center, bring your knees center, and finally, let's give those knees a big squeeze in. Pull your nose, your forehead to your knees. Exhale, release the grip a bit. Let the head rest. 2 more. Big squeeze in and release. And 1 more. Big squeeze in and release and rest. And this may be the part where you want your layers. If your back is feeling just fine, your legs can be long and on the ground. If you'd like, you can roll a bit of blanket under your knees. And I know some of you like to take legs up wall. So if you want to scoot yourself over to the wall, Your back would be on the floor and your legs would go up the wall. And you rest now. You let your feet flop away from each other a bit, your arms away from you a bit. You could let your chin move gently toward one shoulder and then the other, releasing your neck as you wish. Slow, steady breathing now eventually becomes soft breathing, trusting that good breath to be there for you. Releasing fingers and toes, resting ankles and wrists, knees, elbows releasing, hips, jawbones resting. Slow, steady breathing guiding you. Releasing the shoulders. If you'd like to take longer rest, you can always pause this section and come back to it when you're ready. We're gently going to wake the body and move on to our breath work, wiggling fingers and toes, rounding ankles and wrists a bit, breathing the legs long, the feet together, the arms long, the hands overhead, reaching through your fingers and toes, and then bend the knees, bring the soles of feet to rub, bring the palms of hands to rub, waking thousands of nerve endings. And once again, pull those knees in. You may rock and roll up to your seat. You may move to one side and then up to your seat. If you'd like, you can cover your spine and keep it warm while you do your breath work. See what works for you. And you know, if you like to prop your seat, a blanket under your seat, a block under your seat may help. And then we'll let the palms rest open this time, and you may invite the dhyana or the Gyan mudra for wisdom, index finger and thumb meet. We'll do alternate nostril breath. If you do not want to touch your face, don't, and stay with slow, steady breathing. Your thumb closes your right nostril. You exhale left. Inhale. Close left, pause a moment. Exhale right. Inhale. Close, pause, exhale left. Inhale. Close, pause, exhale right. Try one more. Inhale. Close, pause, exhale left. Inhale. Close, pause, exhale right. Release, breathe. Slow, steady breathing. Balancing the mind with the body. Bringing hands to heart center, thumbs pressing. Feeling the beat of your own heart, your own rhythm, the rhythm that connects us all to each other. Closing with the sounds of peace, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. Join in, listen in, mentally recite after the inhale. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. May you have peace. May you be peace. May you share peace. Thank you for sharing your practice. Namaste, Satnam, be well. See you soon.